man, tonight on Geeking Out.
I got to build a Star Wars prop with Adam Savage from Mythbusters. Can we get a crew member into this?
No, it's a torture device.
And they let me direct an episode of The Flash, so I brought our cameras. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Let's end this. Come on.
And we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. Tiffany Smith will be here.
I loved it so much. It incorporated science, it was fantasy, it was all this interesting stuff.
All that and so much more tonight on Geeking Out. Yes!
Geeking Out, I'm Greg Grunberg.
I'm Kevin Smith, man, and this week we're going to take you into some fun stuff, including the set of The Flash, where I was a director. Where are you taking them?
I visit Adam Savage, the Mythbuster himself. He's a geek about everything. It's about science, about TV, about film, everything. He collects artifacts, he collects and builds replicas of things that he can't acquire himself.
He's such a sweet guy, man. He's a massive prop fan.
These props today are just, they're coveted. Like, you have Harley Quinn's bat. Yeah, from Suicide Squad. There's a bat that I wish I had. Like, if there was one iconic prop, for me, The Untouchables, Brian De Palma, that movie.
Love that movie.
There's a bat in that movie where he's going around the table and he's like, you know, teamwork. A baseball team, the batter steps up to the plate.
Is that your De Niro?
Oh, yeah. This is it, right here.
No, it sounds more like Dice Clay, like, oh, over there.
It's exactly.
Hickory dickory dock. Oh.
Yeah. Exactly. That's awesome.
That would be a good one to have, man. I think if I could have any prop movie history, Raiders of the Lost Ark, I would like the Ark of the Covenant. I'll never forget being a kid, being in the movie theater, sitting next to my dad, and I was lit up because I love the movie, but my father was lit up because this was like, he said to me at one point, he goes, this is the kind of movie I used to watch when I was a kid. And they were nailing the tone of it. But I remember when they lifted up the Ark of the Covenant, man, golden, gleaming. Seeing that piece, man, I think if I could put that in my house, it would really tell people as they walked in who I was.
Another prop that I actually have a replica of that I bought, which is the golden ticket, the Willy Wonka candy bar with the golden ticket in it. And it just represents hope. It represents, you know, that so much to me. That I have hanging up in my office.
That's amazing. I would have never thought about that. But you're right. That's one of the most famous props in movie history is the golden ticket.
Yep.
What about Star Wars? Didn't you steal any props from Force Awakens?
Trust me, I tried.
He wasn't pocketing stuff left.
No, I didn't steal anything from The Force Awakens. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's some of the best acting I've seen you do since Heroes. That was pretty impressive.
But Adam Savage let me make a replica prop from Star Wars with him.
Which one? Which one?
Oh, you'll have to watch to find out. Check it out. Chewie, we're home. You stay there. Adam, I don't even know where to begin. You have helmets, wardrobe, toys, collectibles, weapons from every one of your favorite TV shows, films.
Anything that I get curious about, this is where I get to display it.
And you've made, would you say, half of this stuff?
Probably a third to a quarter of it. R2-D2 over there, I built him from scratch over about 5 years.
Wow. Do you remember the very first thing that you geeked out about and you said, you know what, I'd like to have one of those?
It was Mission Impossible. So I grew up on the old Mission Impossible series. Whenever they had to blow something up, they had this custom box, and they pull a lid, and it would say arm and then detonate.
Yeah.
So my dad had thrown out a briefcase, and I took the briefcase, and I built myself a Mission Impossible bomb detonating box. When I was like, I must have been nine years old, and I would go out in the backyard and be like, there.
That is awesome. Is there something that you look at and you go, you know what, I built that 20 years ago. Now I can make it so much better and better and better.
And I do have props that I have built several of, actually. If you want to move locations, I'm going to grab a couple of pieces and
go.
This is the Blade Runner gun I built for myself from sketches from a paused VHS tape in 1986.
Wow.
But it's totally inaccurate as a Blade Runner gun. I've always known that the original Blade Runner pistol is based off a Steyr Mannlicher .222 target rifle and a Bulldog .44 caliber.
Of course it is. What the hell is he talking about?
So then I bought those two firearms.
Okay.
And I took them apart and got up the courage to gunsmith it into what is the most accurate Blade Runner pistol replica ever made. You're going to love how heavy this is.
This feels, I mean, this is the real deal, guys. I mean, look, come on. This is so beautiful. I mean, this is art. This, you've got to be proud of this.
This is maybe my favorite piece in this building.
Wow.
There's a way in which it slips into your hand.
I mean, there's a weight. That's just absolutely awesome. Okay, tell me about this.
This is an amazing piece I couldn't believe I was able to collect. It's made by this South American man named Louis Hoytoya. He made 4 or 5 of them, and they're all made out of brass, actual brass like a saxophone.
So what's the difference between this and this?
That one, someone bought a statue of 3PO, which had been cast off of the Lucasfilm molds. And then someone cut it into pieces, made castings, and sold me a kit of it.
Wow.
I took that kit, sent it to a company to do vacuum metallizing on it, which is how C-3PO is chrome.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out that the son of the owner of the vacuum metallization company loves 2 things in the world. One is Mythbusters and the other is Star Wars. They sent it to me actually gold-plated.
Wow.
That C-3PO is one of the only ones in the world that is genuinely gold-plated.
It's incredible. Can we get a crew member into this suit?
It's not wearable. That one's not wearable.
This one we could, though.
This one, I put on the helmet and almost got heat exhaustion just from the helmet.
I can imagine.
And it's horrifying to put this. It's a torture device.
Okay. So we're going to do something together.
Yeah, do you want to build a Star Wars one?
Let's build a what? Yes, please. I'm pretty handy, my friend.
Okay, good.
Let's do it.
All right.
Coming up. We're actually building something.
Yeah, no, and look, it's starting to look like something already.
What? And later on.
It's weird to watch it live. And what's really weird is when you watch the effects happen and Barry runs fast. It's hilarious.
Okay, what are we building?
We are going to build Rey's staff from The Force Awakens.
Perfect.
So here's all the pieces that make up Ray's staff. And then I've got a pole.
This is going to be the inside.
Yeah, this will be the central shaft of the thing.
Okay. We're still talking about this, right?
Yes, we are. So it looks to me like we want to cut out a certain amount here. You can make this cut. There you go.
What?
Isn't that the best?
This is awesome. Dude, that's power. This is looking good.
It's looking pretty good. Lift the staff up.
Yep. Oh, you're not going to ask me to cough, are you?
No. Do a dust like this. Hit it with a little bit of silver.
That looks awesome.
Oh, you have no idea. It's going to be so much better when we're all done. All right, so now we've got it looking metallic. We're going to actually hit this with a bunch of rusty washes in order to get it to start to look really rusty. Take your chip brush and you wet it. Then you want to get a little bit of the paint on here. Now here's one of the tricks is we're just going to spritz this with isopropyl alcohol. And the alcohol helps thin the water and the paint. And you'll see,
oh, look at that. Yeah, it muddies it up.
And then, and take it back down.
Oh, this is really starting to look good. You're right.
Right, now it's starting to come into its own.
Yeah, it layers up.
We want it to look like that sort of really matte, rusty look. And the way we're going to do that is with this stuff that I've been using for years called Barnard clay. So I'm going to hit this with a clear coat, and while the clear coat is drying,
this is how I cover my bald spot. Wow.
I'm going to hit it with this. There you go. See that? Now that's starting to look.
Yeah, that looks old and weathered.
Go for it. Here.
Turn it.
Yes. Excellent. Ah, there we go.
Look at that.
Yep.
Do a little of that.
Then this guy lives there. And there it is. We have one completed Ray's staff from Force Awakens.
Unbelievable. This is amazing. Thank you for letting us geek out with you, man.
Oh, thank you so much.
Geeking out with you has been the highlight of my geeking out experience so far. Awesome.
Come on.
Look at this thing. Now, if I didn't tell you that this was a replica, this absolutely could have been. Yes! Yes!
Ow, I twisted my arm.
Oh, did you?
I'm so not Ray.
This is, but he had photos, as you saw. I mean, he's obviously a genius. He did most of the work, but to be able to just stand there with a creative guy like that and make this, it's inspiring. I wanted to come home and, you know, just make stuff with my kids.
Have you ever taken a prop from any of the movies or TV shows you worked on?
I have. I took a vehicle. I purchased a vehicle from Alias, Bradley Cooper's Bronco.
Really?
Yeah, Ford Bronco.
Everyone remembers that, Bradley Cooper's Bronco from Alias. No, that's not a prop. You just wanted a car.
That's very true. All right, how about you?
I think, I made a movie called Dogma years ago.
Sure.
And there was a Buddy Christ statue. I still have it. It's in the comic book store. Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash back east. Sits right in the corner. People come in all the time to the store and they're like, ooh, how much could I buy it? Somebody wants to pay me $1 million. I will part with it. But nobody's ever going to pay $1 million, so we'll have it for life.
But now we know what it means to you.
And now we know there's a price, too. Somebody could hit it, man.
Exactly.
So coming up next on Geeking Out, I'm going to take you and this guy up to Vancouver where they shoot The Flash.
I can't wait. Coming up.
I feel like a rock star. It's like another persona comes out of me where I'm in the suit.
When I was in The Hollow Man, my character gets killed, so they made a full head-to-toe version of me.
Did you ever get the dummy to bring home with you?
Yeah, I'll bring it over.
They pour prosthetics all over your face.
Right.
Just drop this rubber, it comes over your face.
Ooh, this.
So what year is this from?
This is from The Hollow Man in the 90s.
Have you ever gotten close to like just kissing it because it's life size?
Well, no, this.
Just do it.
Okay, no, but I'll tell you, this is how I use the carpool lane on the freeway in
With
LA.
this guy sitting
With this
next
guy,
to you?
yeah. Do it, dude.
You are
So handsome. You know that, right? I'm a big fan of all your stuff.
Kiss. Kiss. Oh, that's so gross. Disturbing and hot at the same time, man.
Love it. Wow, I'm a good kisser.
No doubt. Welcome back to Geeking Out. You have some experience with the CW back before it was the CW.
Yeah, it used to be called the WB, and I was on a show called Felicity. And
I used to dismiss them as the CW. That's a shirtless boy network. My friend Jamie used to try to show me clips of Arrow.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, look at this, man, look at Arrow. They're doing Arrow. And he got me to start watching. He's like, you got to watch these shows. Flash was the one that he hooked me on. And I'm so glad he did because I fell deeply in love with the show. I think it's honestly one of the best produced television shows in the history of TV.
wow, that's saying a lot.
Crazy, crazy good. And I got to go up and direct an episode last season. And so I took cameras with me so we could show everyone what that looks like.
Fantastic.
Barry Allen's forensic lab, and this is the place where Barry gets hit by lightning, covered by chemicals, and he becomes the Flash. The moment I started talking on social media about like, oh, I'm gonna do an episode of the Flash, I started hearing from cats that I never hear from, and the message was clear: don't this up. Cats, man, and my God, nobody intuits a character like you do. There was no directing on my part whatsoever. I walk in and he was just like, I'm gonna do it like this, and you're like, that's exactly how one would do it.
You were never my favorite person. Let's end this.
Come on. What is your relationship like with the audience?
I've always been very shy and standoffish, but if we rap and there's kids that are still gathered, I mean, I feel like a rock star. It's like, it's pretty special. I mean, you're in a super suit and they want you to sign skateboards and t-shirts. It's like another persona comes out of me where I'm in the suit and I am not shy anymore and I just goof off and have a lot of fun.
Candace plays Iris on the show, Barry's Well, you never want to say sister, but you did kind of grow up together.
We grew up together, but let's stay away from the brother and sister thing. That could get weird.
See those reflexes? I'm there for you, girl.
Yeah, I saw that.
You got to go to Earth 2 and do something different, like step out of Iris B, Earth 2 Iris. What is that kind of thing fun, I would imagine?
Man, it's the dopest thing I've probably done this season for me, just because you sign into a show and you think you're gonna play one version of that character for however many years, and so with a show like The Flash and having multiverses, you start realizing that you could play all different sorts of Irises. So getting to go to Earth 2 and have Iris be a badass cop, wielding a gun, you know, telling the boys what to do. I mean, as a woman, it's awesome. I want to go back.
I got to imagine, like, as the multiverse expands, that means sooner or later, you know you're getting a costume.
I want it so bad. I keep saying, I'm like, guys, I look dope in leather. Stop waiting.
It's weird to watch it live. It's weird and wonderful. It's like watching them do The Flash on Broadway. And what's really weird is when you watch the effects happen where Barry runs fast. You'll see it on the monitor. It's hilarious. They just stop, and then he just walks out.
Pause, step out.
They call it zooping, inside terminology. And somehow it all works. Cortex, the base of operations for everything Team Flash. And everything is fake. Like, it's nuts, man. They got all this medicinal stuff all around here, but it's all fake. I found some medicinal marijuana laying around, and I was like, yeah. But on the back it said prop. I was like, the coolest thing in the Cortex, hands down, has to be this right here. The costume ever on display. Come on, it was crazy. When we were shooting, I shot for about 3-4 days before I saw Grant in the costume. When I saw him in the costume, just knees buckle. He looks like a hero, man. He looks like the Flash coming to life. God. I was a little scared when I first got up here because I was like, I don't know how to make a show this good. And y'all taught me how to do it, man. I walked away a better filmmaker. You can't up the Flash. I tried desperately. It's foolproof because of the people that work on it.
Great cast.
Oh, wonderful people doing the Lord's work.
So explain that zoop thing.
In order to communicate the guy's speed, basically that's how he leaves and comes in to a room. But they can't, he doesn't really run fast. All you have to do is give an editor like this motion, and then they'll take it. You could do it right now. So just go.
All right.
Start by going like this.
Okay. I'll get it.
Yeah.
I'm here now. I'm gonna go to the bar. Go! Okay. The bar's secure. I'm coming back. Come on back to the table, Red. Man, you're fast. Thank you. I have a cramp. Woo! Let's go to commercial.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Woo! Coming up, we celebrate Star Trek's 50th anniversary. This new version of Star Trek has an LGBTQ character.
They've always had a Q. Now they've got an LGBTQ character. Hey, man, welcome back to Geeking Out. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Greg Grunberg.
And look who's joined us. It's Tiffany Smith.
Tiffany Smith!
4 days from now, 50th anniversary of Star Trek.
And Star Trek, the original series, the first airing of the first episode of the original series. Now they're bringing the show back, and my buddy Brian Fuller is at the helm.
That's the guy that did Pushing Daisies.
Yes.
Wonderfalls.
Wonderfalls,
Hannibal.
Yeah.
He's worked on Star Trek before, hasn't he?
You did Voyager, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And he's going to do an amazing
Well,
job.
and actually, just speaking of the fact that he did Voyager, that Star Trek version had a female captain. And they're talking about this new version also having a female captain.
Yeah. Star Trek was always progressive. Star Trek was always a look into what hopefully would be a better future. And, you know, this new version of Star Trek has an LGBTQ character that's going to be on the show.
They've always had a Q. Now they've got an LGBTQ character. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Q is the little Star Trek Next Generation. Star Trek, I feel, also created the original fandom. You don't really hear about comic book conventions or sci-fi conventions prior to Star Trek. People who are like very passionate beyond the normal TV watcher for something they were seeing.
Were you a Trekkie?
Actually, this was one of the shows that we watched together as a family. The Next Generation was the one that we all watched together. It was like everybody has dinner and then you sit together and you watch it. And I loved it so much just because of the fact that it incorporated science, it was fantasy, it was all of this interesting stuff, and there were such diverse characters on the show. Who was your favorite captain?
Wow, what a great question. You know what? I might go with Sulu in Undiscovered Country, I think it was. Maybe it's a trendy answer. Maybe it's a politically correct answer. But I think Sulu is captain of his own ship, saving his former crew. That gave me the feels when I saw that. What about you?
I mean, it's got to be Jean-Luc for me.
Really?
Yeah, it totally does.
Because Next Generation was your Star Trek.
Next Generation was the one I watched with the family.
What about you?
Shatner. Little B. Shatner.
You went for the standard Kirk.
Yeah.
Classic. Nothing wrong with that. It's like going to a bar and being like Budweiser. Nobody's going to judge you.
No, of course.
Unless you're in England.
Yeah, exactly. When I think of Kirk, that's who I think of. I think Chris Pine's doing an incredible job.
Yeah.
Beyond really did stay true to these characters. There were lines and moments that I heard cheers in the theater.
Because of Peg.
Yep.
Well, Peg, you got a writer who's a deep fan of the franchise going back. So think about it. That's like someone on the internet being like, hey, if you were going to do Star Trek, what would you do?
Yeah.
So they gave him full bore, man. He got to do what he wanted with the Star Trek universe, and he mixed and matched in Beyond.
Yep.
Where instead of like always the same pairing of Kirk and Spock, Kirk was off with Chekhov, and Spock was off with Bones. He mixed it up while still staying very close to the fandom.
And there was so much humor in this movie, and I think that again makes it relatable and will carry you through. I found it so entertaining. The action was amazing. Justin Lin did an incredible job.
The action was amazing, and my twin Sophia Boutella was pretty awesome.
Yes. Really great.
We're not
You
twins.
get that a lot, do you, all the time?
So much. Everyone's like, I got tweets that were like, you were so great in Star Trek. And I'm like, yeah, it's not.
I used to get that with Chris Pine.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
People have said that I'm the fat Zachary Quinto. So I don't know if that counts for much.
We are like the bizarro Star Trek cast right now.
That 5-year mission turned into 50 pretty damn quick, didn't it?
It's true.
Thank you for acting on that.
Yep.
That's all the time that we have for this week on Geeking Out, ladies and gentlemen. Come back next week. We'll do some more of this. Till then, I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Greg Grunberg.
And I'm Tiffany Smith.
Live long and prosper.
Yeah.
You Klingons.
Next Sunday, Kevin Smith and Greg Grunberg are geeking out with Magnificent Seven director Antoine Fuqua, and Kevin visits Jim Fletcher at DC Collectibles. Geeking Out next Sunday at midnight.